Yeah, I'm back again. I'm back again. It's 1:24 in the morning West Coast time for the Thursday of the 31st of October, 2024. The Weaver John C. Roseman, California. Not even alive or awake yet. What's going on, guys? So here we are. Here we are. We had the baseball game, and then we had other political rallies happening at the same damn time. How to drive you crazy. There was a rumor going around, and it still hadn't been substantiated. The Biden administration already knocked the damn thing down. But the Trumplicans are still out there trying to make sure that it still stays apparent because they claim that the Harris and Biden administrations have called everybody who's worshiping Trump garbage people, or calling everybody else in America as garbage people. And yet we keep the news media, the corporates, and the independents kept disproving this all the damn time. Doesn't matter. Because if the Trump say so, if the Vance says so, then it's got to be real, right? Not until they keep being shown everything else and they'll still say it's fake news. But Trump's already been insulting people left and right since he got into politics. He still calls people garbage. He's got this arrogance around him. And he'll lie about it and cheat and steal. He keeps getting caught on it, too. So the Puerto Rican community is still miffed. That's the polite word for it. And they should be. They should be. But they're going to be voting for whoever they feel who is the best candidate, even if it has to be a write-on. Write a write-in on the application there for a ballot. Just send the ballot in with your candidate's name, and then let's see what happens. But will this mean that Trump's going to get in office? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, he did try to show that he was part of the American people by driving a truck, a garbage truck, with his name on it. And he goes to his rally with a vest, a safety vest on. See, I'm one of you guys. They're all lying about me. I'm like, you damn buffoon. You're born with a silver spoon up your ass and your mouth. And you're trying to tell people that you're one of them? Oh, give me a break. I love the publicity stunt he did with the McDonald's shit. Pardon my language. Yeah, he goes over to hijacks the McDonald's, sets up his own uh, people to go through, drive through. He's learning how to make McDonald's food. I mean, hell, he's been eating it for so long, he might as well learn how to cook. I think a kid's rite of passage when he's going through high school and then going into adulthood for jobs and stuff, they got to learn how to do fast food. They got to learn how to cook. If they can learn how to cook at home, then maybe they can learn how to cook at a retail place. Nothing wrong with fast food retail. I did it a few times, and it's there, and I did it. I did it. I worked at McDonald's for 3 weeks. And because the schedule wasn't accommodating to my college schedule, you know, what do? You either stick with it or else you leave. Well, I left. I couldn't go back to a bowling alley. They already had that job already taken care of. I had to go to another place, go to Target, go there for about a month and a half and get fired there too. Because as a kid, you're learning how to deal with life on life's terms, including how to deal with bosses who think that your behavior is unprofessional. Of course you're unprofessional. You're a kid. You don't know your ass from a hot rock. Come on. If I was happy and I was enjoying myself, I was humming to myself. They thought I was talking to myself. I said, no, I'm humming to myself. I'm humming to myself. I'm singing. You can't sing. Well, you can't show a happy worker. You can't do that. You're talking to yourself. Yeah, don't do that again. We told you about that many times. Yeah. I think they wanted to get rid of me for one reason or another. Kept having a supervisor kept telling me, you're making too much overtime. Well, the people keep coming. What do you want me to do? Shut it down. Well, I tried shutting it down, but they still wanted to stop. What am I going to do? Be an asshole about it? If you're in customer service, you're supposed to be people pleasing. What's the job? You put me there all alone. You don't even put me with another guy to help me out. Hey, and like a dummy who was going to argue the point and prove it to him, I just got myself proven out of a job. Skip one day of work, and then I was out. Learned things the hard way. Especially when I'm in bad blood. I admit it. I admit it. I screwed up. Screwed up in school and had to work full time. But this time, learning the lessons that I had back in the past, I busted my butt at a Thrifties for about 2.5 months, I think. Until I had someone coming from a different retail organization started trying to build itself back up, but I'm not quite sure if they're still there or not. You ever heard of a company called Circuit City? I think I talked about this one in my older videos and this one. Yeah, Circuit City, where service is state of the art, or it's called the intelligent choice. Yeah. Think of it as the electronics version of Kmart. You had your portable gadgets and widgets and wadgets. You had your appliances, washers, dryers, microwaves, refrigerators. You had your televisions, you had your car stereo and home stereo. Consumer electronics. Wasn't bad for 4 years' work. Yeah. Wasn't all that bad, actually. I still liked it. I still liked it. But that's the thing I remember as being a kid to a younger adult is I remember those days. I remember what it was like to bust my ass. Even when there was a potential disaster that could have happened during that time. An earthquake in a different part of the city. And miles away, I still had to go to work 2 weeks into the job. Now let's see how Trump does this shit. Earthquake happened and I still had to go to work. Place was still immaculate, but things had to be shifted around a little bit. That's all right. That's what happened. So there was nothing wrong with that. There was also nothing wrong with going to temp agencies when I was in San Fernando Valley and busting my ass at different job sites left and right. You're a temp. You get bounced. One job to another job to another job, whoever's going to last you. Even if you stay there for a short time, you wanted to stay there a little bit longer, you can't because you got a time limit on that one. You're going to be here for a few weeks. Okay, fine. You're going to be here for a few weeks and you got to show up every single day or business days anyway. And I did. I wasn't temp of the week. That's for damn sure. Or temp of the month. I get in, do the job, get out. You learn as you grow. You learn as you do. And if you have to go to school to get more job skills, it helps out with the employment. I don't think Trump ever learned out shit. He learned how to con, wheel, deal, and bullshit people. He became an owner of his company and his empire. Yeah, conning people, lying to people, and doing whatever he was doing. He got his empire. And that's why I just couldn't deal with the guy. I really couldn't. I really couldn't. When the elections came out for 2016, I was already in college at the time. I did maybe about a year already, and I was taking political science. I remember We were keeping track of the political races. We're talking about it, candidates. We heard about Trump getting in office and then him going through the first round of debates. He had already been on television for a while. He's already did his television stint with NBC, The Apprentice. Maybe a lot of you, or maybe some of you, actually remembered that show. It was just for a show. That's all it was. Not employment. Just being a contestant on the damn thing. Excuse me. I got bug war today. Raining cockroaches. But I barely saw his shows. I couldn't stand the guy. There was something about him that I really could not stand. He wanted to become rich. He wanted to become famous. He wanted everybody to like him. He had this absolute need to be worshipped. And I couldn't deal with people like that. I had people like that. No, thank you. I don't deal with people like that. If they're going to be having that kind of an attitude, forget it. Their egos are that screwed up. So I don't deal with them. And in this current election cycle, it's worse and worse and worse. But what the independents had reported and what the corporate media reports, I don't know if he's stable or not. I know I'm not half the time anyway. If I'm going to be talking about myself, and I generally do because this is my channel, and I talk about myself, I talk about my viewpoints, I'm talking about things that are happening to me, what I'm seeing, what I'm observing, what's going on these days. I didn't expect people to follow me or subscribe to me. Maybe a long time ago I thought I wanted more, but I kept thinking, why? I'm going to be dependent upon people's viewpoint, what I think I should be, or what I could be, or this way or that way. And I'm thinking, no, just be me. Using it as a lifeboat as I possibly can. That one day, if I am going to be going down under, and I'm going to be losing my memory, I need to know what the hell's going on with me. I need to be a record on. There has to be a record on file for my own health. To let the doctors and therapists know if I've actually gone over the deep end or not. And if I actually had gone over the deep end and not coming back, they would have a record of what happened. If there was any changes happening to my behavior. And if you guys been following the channel enough, you know that I still have an aversion to the medical establishment. Still do. And I have been talking to people about it. Trying to get a handle on this damn thing. Because it's not that easy dealing with the kind of crap that's going on inside of this damn noggin. That's for damn sure. So, that's the main reason why I have my channel. I'm not what people want me to be. I am what I am. One screwed up human being dealing with the past and still has to struggle with day by day. And in the future, I'll just let it take care of itself because I'm still trying to struggle with a day by day situation. And I keep telling people, and it kind of goes over their head that whatever you've done in the past has already led you up to this particular point in the past, and this particular point in present. And it's up to you to make better choices. What goes on ahead of you? Collateral damage or no collateral damage, everyone's got collateral damage, one way or another. Physical, mental, both, I don't know. Financial. But it led you up to this particular point in time and space. But you still have to deal with the decisions that need to be made to deal with the collateral that you got currently, that you're already dragged up to this point, which I still need to do. That'll help you out tomorrow. That's how I look at it. That's how I had to look at it these days. And over the past nearly 20 years, I had I had to mold myself in that kind of situation. Here it is, October. It's the end of it. Next 24 hours, it'll be November. Next month after that, it'll be December. And after that, it'll be 2025. And how am I looking forward to the rest of the time? I don't know. All I know is the triggers that I've had have put me into an emotional headlock, crying my eyeballs out on time. They're still there. I'm reminded on it constantly. But I hold it in because it's not it's not getting to me just yet. Now, concerning about the election situation at this point, as I said before, I already did my mail-in. I already put in a video. I already put it in a ballot, and I already got it registered, and now it's okay. I'm voted. I voted. It's not that bad. It's not that bad doing a constitutional duty like that. But what does take me out is hearing people that they want to say or do something about the voting, or if they're going to be doing something about the ballots, if they're going to be damaging ballot boxes here and there. We've had them out here on the West Coast, spread out from Oregon to Washington State. I don't know if they got the guy or not. I hope they have, because he's going to be facing some serious federal charges at this point. Well, how is that going to help people voting for the right candidate or voting their candidate in office? I don't get the insanity of it. We got people coming out there threatening poll workers. We got poll watchers who are not going to be poll watchers. They're going to be interfering left and right, and have to have cops come out to make that kind of determination whether or not if they are poll watchers or if they're going to be interference with election, doing electioneering. There was somebody from the Republican Party in one particular state who was doing that, who was telling people in line, who was reportedly telling people in line who to vote for, just before they get to the damn building, feet away. And this person was, well, had dime dropped on her and taken out and arrested. Arrested for electioneering, interfering with the election process. They have to take these things seriously enough. There have been other Supreme Court decisions made that one particular state is going to have the purge rolls not reversed. Despite what the lower court says, the upper court says, no, they can do the purge. And that's your conservative courts right there. Yes, they do need to get intermediate purges here from time to time just to make sure that they got the accurate rolls. If there's anybody living or still within the state and county where they are. I understand that. But too damn close, about one or a few days before election? Come on. Isn't that interference? But no, according to the Supreme Court, it isn't. So now we realize how close and screwed up democracy is right now as it is. We know how precious it is for the vote. Because you who may be active in your state, in your county, in your province, in your area, you may have been doing it for a long time. But how about if you're suddenly determined to be non-existent and you need to be purged, and you just did a vote? This is for people who've actually voted, but also hadn't voted yet. Mostly for the people who hadn't voted yet. Because you still have poll workers still sorting through the ballots to see whether or not if they're legitimate or not, and if they are legit, I mean, just sorting things out and trying to be open to the public to see, to have them look at how the process is going. But because of safety and security concerns that the poll workers have said, they wanted no visual activity. I mean, actually, the windows covered up so they can actually do the work in peace, but they still get ranked. One particular surprise just no, we're going to keep this open and honest because this is democracy. We want them to see how this works. We can't do this secretly. So it has to be that way. Do I agree with it? Yes and no. If there's not enough security out there, then they're going to have to be watching themselves on this to protect themselves from the crazies out there who says, "You're doing this wrong." Well, we're open and honest about it. No, you're not. And therefore, we're going to run into the situations like that, aren't we? This is the kind of stuff I should be talking about more and more, but they've been really knocking my ass out. I've been hearing more and more of the commentators going after other commentators left and right. If they're not doing this right, they're going to be bitching and griping about it. And it's what drove me crazy. That's what kind of turned me out and tuned me out, is I wasn't keeping track of all this stuff. So with that being said, uh, we'll see what happens in the next few days.